So you want to get married? Well, buckle up, because here in this new series, we're going to go over everything you need to know about getting married so you can have a flawless wedding. What's going on, everybody? My name is Sam Abdallah. For those of you who don't know me, I am the owner and operator of blstudios. I have photographed over 1,000 weddings, and I have a little bit of knowledge about how to have a great wedding. So today we're going to talk a lot about what you should kind of look for about having a wedding, how to pick your vendors out, what you guys should discuss, things like that. So without further ado, let's get started. Number one, do you like each other? Like, do you really like each other? I'm joking, but honestly, that's actually a really important question. A lot of couples, they'll get married and then shortly after, they'll get divorced. And believe me, I have seen quite a number of those. So the first thing you should really do is just double check that you guys are actually in sync, that you guys really enjoy each other's company, that you're willing to live with this person forever. Because again, the last thing you want is to throw this elaborate party, have everybody invited, and then end it shortly after. So make sure you guys are on the same page. Number two, discuss finances. I know, it's a super icky topic to talk about, but you have to do it. The number one reason that couples get divorced is because they don't understand each other's finances and they fight about it, and then things just end. So it's super important to discuss things like, are you gonna have a shared bank account? Who's gonna pay for what? Who's gonna pay the utilities? Who's gonna pay the mortgage? Who's gonna pay for the groceries? Who's gonna pay for, I don't know, Mr. Whiskers eating your engagement ring? It happens. But you have to talk about money, because if you go into a wedding and then soon after go into a life with another person and you don't talk about money, things are gonna start deteriorating very fast. So talk about money. Number three, talk about where you wanna live. So I know that doesn't seem like it's important, but honestly, it's pretty important. And I know a lot of couples will pick where you want to live based on where do they work. So it's kind of not like a far distance, but you also kind of really want to like where you live too. If you're like a beach couple, you probably want to be close to the beach. If you like the woods and solidarity, then you probably want to be in the woods. Do you want to live close to your parents or in-laws, or do you want to live in a completely different time zone away from them? These are all super important topics to talk about because, again, you want to enjoy your life with one another, and if you don't like where you live, that can also kind of make things a little weird. Number four, let's talk about the wedding. That's why we're all here. Now, this is a topic that causes the majority of stress for a couple. So let's break this down even further because there's a lot to discuss here. So here we go. When do you want to get married? So time of year actually matters quite a bit. Do you have a certain time of year that you guys enjoy the most? Are you guys like beach people, or do you like the fall because pumpkin spice lattes or whatever the case may be? But those are things that you want to think about, not only because of that, but also things like, let's see, if you want to get married in the winter, yes, weddings are definitely a lot cheaper in the winter, but you're dealing with shorter light, which means it gets sunset way quicker. So a lot less time for photography. And then also dealing with photos in the cold weather doesn't always turn out so good. You're dealing with snow, plus your skin's gonna turn bright red, and it doesn't look good in photos. And honestly, no Photoshop work in all of the world will make you look much better than that. Also, if you get married in the fall, it's better temperatures, but you're dealing with fall allergies. You're gonna be dealing with a lot of people walking around looking at all the leaves. You get married in the spring, it's great also for the temperature, but you also might be dealing with more rainy weather because it's notorious that it rains a lot more during the spring. Spring flowers, May, It's one of those things. Anyway, and then obviously if you get married in the summer, which is the majority of weddings, because obviously you have a lot more light and a lot more people have vacations, but you're dealing with the extreme heat. And if you're a bride that paid like a good number of money for her makeup, that makeup's gonna go away real fast in that heat. Plus, you're gonna be sweating a ton. So as a guy, your shirts are gonna be all soaked and bugs are gonna be everywhere. So again, like, these are things that you really want to consider is what time of year do you really want to get married, weigh the pros and the cons, and then really just pick out what matches the best for you guys. B, where do you want to get married? Do you want to have a traditional wedding venue? Do you want to get a wedding in a backyard? Or do you want a destination wedding? There are so many different places that you can get married that honestly, the suggestions are endless. So you really have to consider, what is your vibe? Like, what do you and your significant other really enjoy? And I would definitely recommend picking a place that matches your vibe. Don't do it based off of purely family suggestions, because honestly, family can really, really, really destroy a wedding. You know, and the last thing you want is to look, you know, angry or sad or just uncomfortable in your photos. So again, pick a place that matches your style and your vibe. Obviously, budget does play a part in all of these, and your traditional wedding venues are going to cost you a bit more. But again, it really all depends on the type of wedding you want. So think about where you really want to have your wedding. C, how many people do you want to invite to your wedding? Ah, yes, the dreaded question. How many people should I invite to my glorious wedding? Okay, listen. Before we really get started, just understand one thing. No matter how many people you invite, even if you invited every single person you have ever met in your entire life, you will still disappoint somebody. So do not even worry about it. Invite the people who want to be there for you. Invite the people who are going to be there to celebrate you. You don't want people there that are giving you dirty looks or talking about you behind your back, or just there to eat your food and give you a $5 bill as a gift. Yeah, it's happened, and I know who you are. But again, pick people that are there for you. Don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to your friends and family. Pick the people that you want to be there. D, what vendors do you want to hire? Now, this is something that I know a bit about. So first, hair and makeup. So hair and makeup, you definitely want to be asking previous brides about who they chose, how did the experience go, and then after that, you narrow it down to who you want to kind of talk to, and then you do tests with them. Preferably do a test when you're planning on doing your engagement photo shoot, so that way you look all dolled up for those photos. You know, hair and makeup will also tell you that it takes about 3 hours just to get you done. So if you're a bride, it's gonna take you 3 hours just for you to have your hair and your makeup done. If you have a whole big bridal party that needs to get all their hair and makeup done, you're gonna need a whole team just to get them done and be on time with everything. So make sure that you have everything spoken about with that hair and makeup artist. Then, let's talk about the DJ. Now, for a DJ, again, the basis on figuring out who you should pick is really if you've been to a wedding and you've seen a DJ that really got the whole room rocking and rolling, then, you know, maybe question that DJ, see like if they vibe well with what your goal and your vision is for your wedding day. You can also ask previous brides. That's one of your best things to do. One of the things you really kind of want to veer away from is just looking on those wedding websites and just trying to look at like the star reviews and things like that. A lot of those can be faked, and honestly, they push people for certain reasons on like if they pay more or whatever the case may be. So ask previous brides, ask people, you know, read the reviews on Google and things like that. Those will be okay. But yeah, you want to narrow down a few people for a DJ. Think about who kind of like matches your style, your energy, and you want to take it from there, okay? Then comes a florist or a decorator, okay? Now, with this can get real expensive real fast. It's honestly based, again, on what your vision is and kind of the wow factor that you want on your wedding day. So the best thing you want to do, again, ask previous brides, think about the previous weddings that you've been to, things like that. Get testimonies before you go and contact people. Then after you've had about 2 or 3 people to contact, take a look at their work online, talk to them. Again, it's all about the vibe, what kind of energy do they bring to the table? And then you want to kind of set up Zoom calls with them, okay? You want to see kind of what they're able to do, how they're able to produce. But once you do choose a florist or a decorator, you want to also make sure that you have 2 to 3 either in-person or online meetings where you can kind of see where their plans are, how things are changing, how things kind of evolve, and that way you're kind of like set to go with how things are going to be for your wedding day. The last thing you want is to show up on your wedding day and all the centerpieces are wrong. They should be purple but not blue and da 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 da. So you want to make sure that that's taken care of because you don't want to walk into a bad surprise. And then finally, the most important one, in my personal opinion, is photo and video. Now, I know I am a little bit biased when it comes to this because I am a photographer and I do offer video, but it is the only thing that you will have to look back at your wedding day when it's all said and done. You don't take home the dinner food unless they offer that, and you can't take home the flowers that'll last forever. I mean, you can take it home, but it's not gonna last forever, okay? But you will have your photos and your video to take a look at. Right? So you want to make sure whatever photographer or videographer that you go for matches the quality and vision that you're looking for. Now, everybody will always look at a website and a portfolio and they'll be like, oh wow, this is some really great work. It is always the best of the best of the best work that they showcase online. One of the things that you really, really need to do is you need to ask for full wedding galleries and see a full wedding video. That way you get a better idea of how things are going to turn out for you. And not just 1 or 2 galleries, you want to see 3 or 4. You want to see consistency within those galleries. Because if in one gallery things are like way off in the quality and the colors and the editing, and then the other one it's like, oh, this is really good, chances are they're using random photographers. And that's not something you want. You want to establish a good connection with your photographer. For me at least, I offer free engagement photo shoots for all of my couples. And the reason why I do that is because I want to build a connection with my couples. I want to build that good rapport before the wedding day. That's how I can produce good quality images. I get to know you, I get to see how you are, what you like, you get to see me, you get to see how I am, and by the time we get to the wedding day, we're comfortable with each other and we know exactly what we're going to be getting. It's either that, or you get some random person showing up on your wedding day shoving a giant camera in your face and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Oh God, the photos look horrible. And they are gonna look horrible because you're not familiar. Photography isn't just about taking a picture, it's about building emotion. It's about showcasing work that's really just gonna say wow to everybody who sees it, and also say that that is you. That is this couple in each photo, not, wow, okay, they took a picture near a tree, or better yet, in a gazebo, which, Lord in heaven, how many gazebo photos do I have to look at? But yeah, you wanna really build a connection with whatever photographer, videographer you have, okay? So do your homework and pick out the best ones. Okay, so that's pretty much all we're gonna talk about when it comes to vendors. Now I know there's a lot of other vendors out there. There's planners and limo and cake that you wanna talk about, but I'm not gonna get into all of those details. I do highly recommend a planner though. They do make your lives and our lives a lot easier. So if it's in your budget, definitely hire a planner. But talking about budget, that's a big thing as well too. Now, of course, everybody has a budget, nobody's, fully rich all the time. But the key thing here is don't pick a vendor purely based on your budget. Talk to those vendors. So if you like somebody and they're just a little bit overpriced what you'd be wanting to spend, talk to them. Let them know, hey, listen, I love your work. Everything's amazing. I really want to work with you, but you're a little bit over my budget. I want to be here. Can you meet me somewhere in the middle? And 9 times out of 10, they will be willing to work with you, because if you at least express to them that you really love their work and you really enjoy them, they'll be willing to work with you, okay? So don't make budget the biggest factor, because if you do, I promise you, things will not turn out the way you want them to, and you're gonna be very, very disappointed. Number 5, we've reached the end, everybody, and we're at the honeymoon, which, in my personal opinion, is anybody's best part of the wedding day. because honestly, it's like your celebratory lap that you survived all of the craziness of that wedding. And honestly, you're gonna pick a place that is just amazing, chef's kiss. Because why? Because it is your only time that you really just get to relax and just be with one another without all that crazy hectic nature from family and friends and blah, 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 texting you all the time and all those vendors. It's all done. You've done it. You've finished. So now all you gotta do is pick a place. Pick a place for your honeymoon. Now, this could be a crazy topic. It can either be like, hey, I want to go to a tropical beach and relax, or I'm going to go to Europe and go hiking for 2 weeks, or I'm going to go to this and this and this. So honestly, it's about what you want. Don't let anybody tell you you have to go somewhere, you have to do that. In my personal opinion, the weddings are so crazy, so absolutely hectic, so absolutely stressful, that I just want to break down, pass out, relax, have everybody take care of me. I don't want to do a dang thing. So for me, I want to go to a place that's all inclusive. I want to relax on a beach and just enjoy, right? But that's me, okay? Now I do know people that want to go to Europe and travel, and that's perfectly fine. Just know that if you do that, when you get back, you're going to be exhausted. So you're going to also have to go back to work. And I don't know about you, I don't like being exhausted when I have to go back to work, right? So it's really kind of based on what you prefer. But again, the key thing is you pick a place that matches what you want. And also, one of the most important things, which I totally forgot to mention, was do not go to your honeymoon the night of your wedding or the next day. You're gonna be so tired, I guarantee you might miss your flight if you're going on a plane somewhere. All right? So take your time. There's no rush to going on your honeymoon immediately after. All right? So have fun on your honeymoon, relax, and enjoy it, because you did it. You made the wedding happen. Good job. I hope this helps answer some questions about getting married. I hope this helped you guys figure things out a lot. Just remember, at the end of the day, you just gotta breathe. Just breathe, because it's not that big a deal. It's one day out of your life, and you'll figure it out. All right? The wedding's one day out of your life. Getting married, obviously, is your whole life, but, you know, that's that. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos, because we're gonna go over other topics. We're gonna have a whole thing of, so you wanna do this, and so you wanna do this. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, all right? I hope this was informative, this helped you a lot, and thank you again for joining me.